welcome you to another edition of Grow Millionaire. My name is Robin Salter. I'm the founder of GrowMillionaire.com. So in today's series, we're doing a series on personal development. So what we're going to be talking about today is the slight edge, or what I call the mechanics of success. So for those of you familiar with Jeff Olson is a personal development teacher who came up with the book, The Slight Edge. And so in this video, I just want to kind of go over the basics and the fundamentals of what the slight edge is and break it down for you. So whether or not you get the video, or get his book or get his CD, you'll still understand the principles. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is kind of a map of the slight edge, and basically it's just an explanation of how the slight edge works. So like all things in life, it's easy to do, it's easy not to do. It's easy to do the good things, the things that bring health, financial well-being, implementing personal development in your life, building positive relationships with family and friends, and networking. All of those things are easy to do. They're also easy not to do. So in a nutshell, what the slight edge basically teaches is that it is the compounding results that matter the most. It's the compound effect. So if you were to think about compound interest over time, you start off with $5, and if you were to double that, you'd have $10. If you were to double that $10, you'd have 20, you had 40. So basically, the slight edge principle says that you're not only getting progressively better over time or progressively worse based on your actions, but they actually have a compounding effect. So, if you get in great physical condition and get in great shape, that has a compounding effect. That affects the other pillars of success. That affects your financial well-being as well. If you're healthier, you're going to have better success in your business. You're going to have more energy to go out and do the things that are positive, and to go out and build your business. If you have solid finances, you're going to have an easier time getting in better health. So basically, it's a feedback loop. Success builds upon success, and failure builds upon failure. Now, this does not mean that if you've experienced failure and that doesn't mean you can't turn it around and become a success again. It just means becoming conscious of the slight edge, or what I call slight edge consciousness. It's just understanding that your actions do change the game. They change the results that you can get. So that the things in life, what Jim Rohn called the simple disciplines made consistently over time. Those simple things are easy to do. They're easy not to do. And one of the things I'd like to challenge people on is, it may not seem easy to do. It may not seem easy to eat a low carb lifestyle. It may not seem easy to eat more greens and vegetables. It may not seem easy to work on your business a little bit every day. But all those things, in fact, are easy. And once you start doing them, you really start to see the results in your life. And so to break down the formula, Jeff Olson talked about, your philosophy dictates your attitude. Your attitude, your actions equal your results. And I would say that this diagram is maybe a little oversimplified. I think there's a lot more to the mechanics of success than just the slight edge. But as a general principle, it's absolutely true that the net effect is the sum is greater than the parts. And that's one of the things about success, is that when you start working towards personal development, when you start working towards your health, your finances, your business, or the other areas of your life that are important to you, it starts having an effect that's greater than the sum of its parts. Each part independently affects the other, the web of success. And success doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens interdependently on all the different factors. So to boil down the slight edge into a simple formula, the little daily disciplines you do every day add up to being a success, and the net effect of all your successes across different disciplines of your life have an effect, basically, even if you think about compound interest, you have doubling, but then you also have the interest that you get off of the principal. So you're not just doubling your success, you're also bearing interest on your actions. And I will say this, without a mental success blueprint, if you just understand the slight edge but you don't have a winning success blueprint in your mind, then the slight edge isn't really going to help you much. The slight edge, in a lot of ways, just explains the mechanics of how successful people are successful. It doesn't really, in my opinion, show you the way to think about being a success. And to me, the most important thing is changing the way you see yourself and the way you talk to yourself. Your self-talk and your self-image are the most important aspects of success. But understanding the mechanics of success is understanding that behind that, ultimately you have to start with the philosophy. If you don't have a positive framework or philosophy or way of thinking, you're going to fail. You're going to consistently have a hard time getting the results that you're trying to get in fitness and in health and in business and in relationships without the right mindset. And in my opinion, building mindset first is the most important thing. It's one of the most difficult things because consistently working on your mindset, one of the reasons it's difficult is because, the slight edge can work against you or for you. So before you can build a philosophy, which will change your attitude and your action and your results, there's a slight edge going against you or for you for your philosophy. So in other words, let's say that you have really stinking thinking. Your mindset is that you'll never be rich. Well, if you want to go from to thinking I'll never be rich to being a millionaire, you really have to start changing your inner blueprint. And that's not going to happen overnight. There's a slight edge process to changing the way you think, the changing your self-image, changing the way you feel about yourself. And then as you work towards success and you start taking action, slowly your philosophy and the way you see yourself, the way you hold yourself in your mind begins to change as well. So that's one of the challenges to the slight edge. People may get the book, The Slight Edge, and go, man, I'm going to really start working on my finances, my health, my business. I'm going to really start just taking action. And then they find themselves struggling because although they understand the mechanics of success, you understand the principle of how it works. You're doubling, every time you take a little small action that compounds over time and bears interest. That's a powerful principle, but just because you cognitively understand the principle doesn't mean you're actually going to be able to implement it in your life. In order to do that, you really need to work the slight edge in your favor as far as your mindset. And that's something I think I distinguish between maybe me and Jeff in his teaching, is maybe he doesn't quite go over that in the book as much as I think he could have, but really working on your philosophy and applying the slight edge to your philosophy first, that's going to help you get to the next level. And then you can start applying, once you start seeing yourself differently in a new light, because you began to change your philosophy, you can start tackling these other areas of your life that have been a challenge to you. Anyone who claims that success is easy, clearly, if it's too good to be true, that is, it probably is. And I've always been both a fan of personal development and a skeptic, and I think that's a healthy place to be, because you need to be in a place and in a mindset that really is questioning the teaching and understand, trying to get as much as you can out of the information, and whatever doesn't work for you, drop it. Test everything. Go out, test these ideas, see if they work for you. So again, the slight edge, the principle of the slight edge is simply that the little daily disciplines, the little habits that we do every single day do matter. that the things you do every day, in fact, do matter. And so the question is, all right, once I understand, all right, the little things I do every day matters. Now what do I do? Well, I'd really suggest from there you really start working on your philosophy, or your framework, as I call it, your mental framework or blueprint. These are all the same words for the way you see yourself and uh, the way you process information.